What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about the gallbladder on carnivore and keto diets. How does this happen? What is the gallbladder? What does it do? Okay, so the gallbladder is a organ that stores the bile, with a B, salts from your liver. So your liver makes this salty substance, and then it goes down into the gallbladder, which is a holding place, and then it's released through a series of plumbing, the biliary ducts or the duct system to meet the fat that you've eaten in your small intestine. So you're eating food, it ends up goes down your stomach into your small intestine, and then the fat meets the bile salts will meet the fat and then scrub it down because it's like a detergent, it's an agent that'll scrub it down so your body can absorb the fat. Now, we need the gallbladder to work if you're trying to get into ketosis on a carnivore diet or on a keto diet. Well, I coach a lot of people and I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. And when you're talking about flu or keto flu, carnivore flu, one of the main problems that I see people not being able to be successful on one of these diets is because their gallbladder is not functioning properly. And it is one of the primary reasons I take people off of anything high fat. And the irony is, you can't do lean carnivore because you can't get into ketosis. And if you do lean meat, you can develop a gallbladder problem. Now, what is it? It is bile. Bile salts are comprised of bilirubin, they're comprised of cholesterol. They get backed up. The cholesterol gets backed up and it gets thick. It's supposed to be in a very watery solution. But when it starts thickening, then it turns in sort of like into molasses or honey. And it's like the gallbladder's trying to contract, squeeze out this bile salts in a liquid solution, and it's like meeting a closed door. So essentially, the fat can't be broken down, and you just feel sort of "Ugh," like the fat's not getting broken down. And then your body tries to eliminate it. And in that process of trying to eliminate it, you feel sick, right? So, basically, you might start off with, if you don't have an infection, it's just sludgy, or you might have a few stones not blocking the ducts. The pain will dissipate in about 3 to 4 hours. So the pain, discomfort, nausea is going to be on the right side. And you can feel bloated when you eat fat, or you can feel bloat or pain on the right side, pain in the middle of your stomach, shoulder blade pain, nausea, or just like, I can't eat any more fat. Some people think that, they just can't eat more fat. Like, how do I get the fat in? Like, how do you do it? And it's not that you can't eat more fat. Eating fat, it's literally, you don't feel full. If I ate well, I don't eat Kerrygold anymore because of, with that company's had too many problems. But when you eat a big block of butter, it's like the size of an ice cream sandwich. You don't feel full, but you need all of the equipment to digest the fat, including a functioning pancreas that's going to release lipase. You're going to need enough stomach acid to break down the fat. And so when one or two of these systems are breaking down or not working to break down the fat, and you're doing carnivore and you're doing fatty meats, or you're doing pork, and you're trying to do high fat carnivore or high fat keto, which is it's supposed to be high fat. I don't know why I'm calling it high fat keto, but I guess I'm trying to put the oomph that these diets are not meant to be low fat. That's when people find out for the first time that there's something wrong with their gallbladder. And I swear, and you can also have diarrhea. So if I pull up some information right here, keep me on track. So if I go into this, like, what are the causes of having a gallbladder issue? Let's go into some of the causes. Now, right here, you see, now, believe it or not, a lot of people are on statins. Nobody should be on statins. for a multitude of reasons. But certain medications, right, especially statins, can literally make it so your body has it it creates the problem, it creates the situation to have cholesterol back up into the gallbladder. So then the fat cannot be released. And that cholesterol, which we need cholesterol, it's an antioxidant, backs up and gets thick. And then the bile salts, with the bile salts and the cholesterol get thick and then it can't be released. So statins is one of the main reasons. Poor liver function is another terrible thing because the liver, the kidney, and the gallbladder, they're all connected. So when I do consultations, I'll be like, yo, check your ALT or AST and know your liver function to see, because if the liver is not functioning, 9 times out of 10, your gallbladder is not going to function either. High estrogen, birth control pills that make you estrogen dominant, my people, HRTs, plastic bottles, xenoestrogen, soy. High estrogen gets trapped in the liver. And again, it affects the plumbing to ultimately that gallbladder. Bacterial imbalances can create a backing up of bile and sludge and stones within the gallbladder. So it's really important that bacteria, your flora, the microbiome, stays within its natural balance. So a lot of you guys who've got candida or SIBO often have gallbladder problem, leaky gut. Okay, so fasting is a big problem because you don't have the organs contracting and squeezing when you're not eating anything. We call that a problem. So our hunter gatherers didn't fast purposely. They fasted because there wasn't any food. And I think people seem to get that concept very confused. As modern humans who drink and smoke and who've got high blood sugar and this and that and third on statins, they're not hunter-gatherers. And when you have cholesterol back up into the gallbladder and starts forming sludge and then stones, so funny, I hear the pitter-patter of horses' feet, which is kind of magical. You can't just fast. That's why I always say, know what your existing health is before you do a keto or carnivore diet. Because a lot of people, they don't eat fat. They're in that whole low fat world of fear. And then they start trying to up their fat. And people barely up their fat. They're like, I have like 2 tablespoons and I feel sick. I'm like, 2 tablespoons? I can down 10 easily. Then you have to look at the gallbladder. Because if the gallbladder is not functioning properly, you're not going to absorb the most important vitamins, the thick ones, the mothership of them, vitamin D, E, A, and K. This is happening a lot. And then on top of that, you guys have leaky gut. So now a lot of you guys are so malabsorptive and like your iron levels are high. They're eating all this protein on carnivore and you're like, my iron's so high. Or it's really, really low. Stress. Yeah, so stress can make that plumbing not function properly. Stress can make bog down the liver, bog down because you're eating protein. Kidneys have to filtrate protein byproducts. Stress can really get your liver to back up. I mean, your liver, and then the kidneys, and your pancreas, and then ultimately the gallbladder. Posture. Believe it or not, my people, a lot of you guys are sitting with your shoulders pronated because you're sitting at a desk and your hips are rotated forward and you've got a posterior pelvic tilt. Yeah, because anterior is this way, posterior and butt's pushed forward. And you don't have enough upper trunk circulation. The organs, my people, they cannot be working properly. These are things that people don't think about. Of course, the gastric surgery, that completely jacks up the gallbladder function. All right, high sugar diets, high carb diets, coming from the world of insulin resistance. Sugar, high blood sugar, constant chronic high blood sugar puts all your organs under stress because of a thing called advanced glycation end product. And this is like super inflammatory, like pounding all of those organs, and now bile starts to collect in the gallbladder because of insulin, because of the irritation due to glycation. Now, another huge one is dehydration, my people. And when you are doing a carnivore diet or keto diet, most of you are dehydrated. You have your potassium out of whack, your magnesium out of whack, your chlorides out of whack. And I don't mean potassium chloride. Your magnesium, your potassium, your chloride, your uh, water intake, your sodium intake, and you're doing like keto chow and element, and these things are garbage. We have to try to get first our electrolytes from real food, and we have to drink water, my people. I know that people don't drink enough water. I'll do consultations and I'm sipping water the whole time. What you do not understand is that when you are doing a low carb diet, your body is dumping water. The cells are releasing water via the kidneys. You're losing minerals. You become more dehydrated. You guys are eating too much salt, not enough potassium, and you're not taking enough magnesium or the right kind of magnesium glycinate. You're not taking the right type of magnesium, and you become dehydrated. And it's easy to become dehydrated on carnivore. And if your body is not hydrated, guess what? That backs up bile. That gets thick and stony. So there are a plethora of ways that y'all can develop gallbladder issues, like birth control pills, HRTs, stress, uh, a dysbiotic gut, high blood sugar, which affects also the pancreas. The body can't um, make enough lipase to break down the fat. All the mechanisms, your stomach acid gets low, you used to be a drinker, coffee drinker, and your HCl levels are low. And all of a sudden, bile starts to collect and get thick and stony in the gallbladder. People who come from vegan diets because they're not eating enough fat and animal fats and long chain fats. And I don't mean coconut oil, because you can do coconut oil and be just fine because it's a medium chain triglyceride, which is small in particle size. So it's when you get to those thick, chunky ones that you really need to be able to release bile. And when you can't release bile because, well, it's backed up, it's thick, you can't fit through the piping, and it's hitting a closed, shut door, right? And then you feel sick. That's when the pain or the nausea comes. So you really have to be careful that you don't get an infected gallbladder. That's if the pain persists after 4 hours. You're like, I'm dying. Y'all need to go to the hospital. I've had a few people, I've saved a few people's gallbladders. Doctors are very quick to remove your gallbladder. They're very, very quick to remove it because it's business, okay? So be sure that you got to try to save that gallbladder, that you don't have a bunch of stones, because stones come after sludge. First, you create thick molasses, bile salts, and then they form into literally stones. So, unfortunately, you can't like laser them like you could in the kidneys, or like use sound waves to break them down. They have to remove them, and it's gnarly. I think before they would poke a bunch of holes through your abdomen, but now they can go through your belly button. But I don't want you guys to do surgery if you can avoid it. I'd rather you just try to massage. You can massage that gallbladder and get that bile to break up so it's not thick. You can use things like, here's what's difficult. Some people do really well on ox bile salts. They're coming from a cow. So if you have histamine intolerance and you're reacting because like if you open up the capsule and it smells like a rotting corpse, you might have histamine reaction to it. Ancestral Supplements makes a low dose bile salt, but often by the time it's shipped from New Zealand and hitting your home, and if you've got histamine intolerance, it doesn't work. If you don't have histamine intolerance, that lower 150 milligrams of bile I really like. Otherwise, you go online on Amazon, they're like 500 to 1,000, and it gets a little high. People, you're supposed to take the bile salts on an empty stomach, but some people get like really bad heartburn from it because it's pure salt. So basically start off by just doing it a quarter of the way into eating something first to get your body used to that really salty substance before you'd ever try it on an empty stomach. Like, and you're supposed to take it before you eat a fatty meal. But if you feel sick on that, then work your way up to doing it before you eat a fatty meal. So watch your posture, drink enough water, massage that gallbladder. You might want to do a flush. Now, I don't like to prescribe flushes. If you Google it, you're going to get two camps. Some doctors say there's no science that you can flush out stones. But I have worked with thousands of people over the years, and by not my own experience, but by their experience, they pull out stones sitting on the toilet for 2 days. Like they see stones come out. So I'm going to believe that it works. I have zero gallbladder problem, my people. I can pound down the fat. That's one bullet I missed. I can pound down the fat without any problem whatsoever. So I cannot speak by my own experience on bile salts or how to take them or the pain or the bloat. I'm going by what people say or by the science. No science. Also, people are feeling nauseous. People have greasy stool or floating stool or pale stool. Look for these symptoms. And you literally can have leaky gut and a gallbladder problem at the same time. And if you have leaky gut, it'll turn more yellow. So you're like, oh, it's leaky gut. It's not a gallbladder because gallbladder is like pale and leaky gut is yellow. But if you have both, it'll still be yellow. So unfortunately, you got to be Inspector Clouseau. You've got to really look with the magnifying glass to really understand your symptomology and understanding if you actually have sludge or not. Yeah. Trying to think if I missed anything else. Um, the solutions would be bile salts are great. Tutka. The only thing about Tutka, some people can't. Okay, here's the thing. Some people cannot do the bovine moo cow salts because of their histamine. Look at that. I just have this stupid thing on. Some people. I'm gonna turn the sound down. Some people can't handle that, so then they'll do Tutka, which is bile acids, but they're synthetic. But you won't have a histamine reaction to it. Maybe you will. I don't know. Like I said, I am not speaking by experience. I'm speaking by clients where some people do really well on Tutka, Tudca, and some people don't. Some people can remedy it by just taking lipase, and you have to ask for concentrate or pure. Otherwise, they're going to mix amylase and protease and a bunch of stuff in one. Some people will just do a betaine HCl stomach acid supplement with lipase. Problem solved. Sometimes not. That's why experimentation. There is no one answer. There is no one answer. Things like massaging and chewing your food slowly, like eating fat. Some people have to say also that if you have a problem with rendered fat, which is melted fat and then solidified afterwards, like butter or ghee or tallow, butter, ghee, lard, tallow, then you can take fat trimmings and put them in an air fryer. If you don't like the Teflon, get an not aluminum, a steel or something. I think it's steel air fryer and like nuke it in your air fryer, make it crispy, and then weigh it to make sure that you're hitting your grams of fat. And sometimes people have to do this for the short term until they get that sludge, that bile to start thinning out. And things like lemon water, apple cider vinegar, if you don't have a histamine response to them. Taurine is an amino acid that can also help like get the motility and movement of the bile. But like the Tutka, malic acid, lemon water, not too good. Malic acid, sorry. I have my brain's stuffed with all kind of information. Malic acid, lemon water, apple cider vinegar, that'll help to sort of break down the sludge and then you massage it. You could try to do a cleanse I'm not going to give you the recipe. I could just give you the generality of it because I don't want you all to injure yourself. You got to figure it out. You don't have to use a fruit, the traditional fruits like oranges or whatever. That you can use like lemons or limes, and it has something to do with either like olive oil or I mean, people use some harsh stuff. They'll use like um, castor oil, which is gnarly, or they'll use for their oil. They'll use Epsom salts, and you drink this elixir, and you like fast, and then you start with the first elixir around 6, and then you do one at 10, and then you do one the next day, and then you start having to go to the bathroom. So I don't know the exact recipe. You guys are gonna have to figure that out yourself. I just know some of the ingredient lists. But some people swear that if they do enough of them, like 3 of them, they can start feeling better. They can see stones in their toilet if you have stones and are way beyond the sludge point. They've actually calcified into stones. And I think I got it all. Just remember that you can't, if you're having a gallbladder issue or if you have no gallbladder, then using bile salts might help. Some of these things to help break down the fat. Some people, their bodies find a way to store these salts, even though the gallbladder is gone, because you still make the salts in the liver. So everybody can do a ketogenic diet or a high fat carnivore diet to put you in ketosis with a gallbladder issue or no gallbladder. You just have to be incredibly smart on how you do it. That's why I'm doing these videos to kind of let you know what the symptoms are, some of the solutions. Lord have mercy. Um, but I'm going to tell you right now, I would say that 95% of everyone that I do a consultation with, and I do a ton, you guys know this, for years and years and years, have some sort of a gallbladder problem, a little or a lot. Like one guy's like, I don't have a gallbladder problem. I'm fine until I hit 400 grams of fat and then I feel sick. And I was like, okay, I've hit 400 grams of fat and I've never felt sick. There are people that can eat and eat and eat and eat fat, and the gallbladder is just happy as can be. So you should be able to eat unlimited amounts of fat and not feel sick. If you have a cap, you need to look at that gallbladder. It might be just the start of sludge, but you don't want to have sludge because it makes it very difficult for your body to absorb vitamin D, E, A, and K, and omega 3s. Okay. So sometimes when people are doing carnivore or keto, I'll put them on olive oil. I know it has salicylates just for the short term to then work through this gallbladder issue, get the sludge to flow, and then take them off any olive oil or coconut oil, which is a medium chain triglyceride. And I'll do like olive oil. I might have people do like 1 tablespoon of animal fat because I don't like to cut it completely out. We got to get that gallbladder to work, right? It has to deal with the LCTs and not just the MCTs. And I might do a little bit of olive oil because it's a monounsaturated fat. It doesn't work the same as some of the other LCTs. People can tolerate olive oil with 1 tablespoon of animal fat of your du jour choice of like, butter, ghee, if you don't have a histamine reaction to it, lard, or beef tallow. If you cannot deal with any of those, then fat trimmings. If you still are having problems with fat trimmings, get off the diet. You don't want to get an infection. So yeah, I might put somebody on a low carb, high fat diet, which still is starch based, until we can get the gallbladder fixed. So then you guys can deal with your histamine. I know this sucks, but it is what it is. And the people I take off ketogenic and carnivore diets are people who are severely, severely having issues with their blood sugar and mainly their gallbladder. And you could have all of it. You could have gallbladder, you could have thyroid, you could have hypoglycemia, insulin resistance. And I'm like, all right, you come to me, I'll put you on a plan that works. I feel very proud of myself because I seem to be able to improve everyone's symptoms, no matter if they have hemochromatosis, high iron, low iron, gallbladder issues, thyroid issues, low testosterone, cancer. Like, I'm very careful. Like, I will not broad stroke what I recommend. I'm very, very careful when I work with people, and you guys in the comment section, you cannot ask a general, well, how long does it take for my gallbladder to work out? I don't know. I don't know your level of damage. I don't know your level of discipline. I don't know if you have stones or sludge. People always ask questions where you feel like you're gonna have some magical answer. Sometimes you just don't have the answer. All right, my people, I have literally the entire day, which is why I'm doing this video so late, been working my ass off. And I still didn't I almost got everything done, which is to hang some solar lights on my ranch. Just freaking couldn't get it done. I had to go clean out. You can see it on my Instagram. So my Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic, where I go over more details about the body, and I show you what's happening in my day, and I show you what I'm cooking, and show you the horses. So Stephanie Ketogenic, especially on my stories. You can also join my course, which is through stephanieperson.com. You got to click on the menu at the top. Drop down will say course, where I go over all this stuff. I'll write down all this information so people can download it. Also, I do live mini consultations and do workouts. So if people don't know how to work out while having like chronic fatigue or thyroid issues or any type of like orthopedic injuries like me, I've got a really bad knee, so I can teach people how to build muscle if they have bad knees or if you're overweight and you can't squat, things of this nature. But that's what I got to say. Now I'm putting together a challenge where I'm covering all three diets, and I'm trying to hit this, and it's going to happen. But I got to cover three diets. I got there's lots of research plus what I know, and putting it together in a digestible, um, like digestible information so you can learn it easily. And that's the Rubik's cube of trying to figure out how to do it. But a lot of you women want me to talk about postmenopause. I'm actually going through it now at 55. I will be 56 in how many months? Probably 6 months. So I'm on my way to being 56. And I want to talk about how the adrenals can still make reproductive hormones, how important it is to work out because of your bone density. A lot of people are like, I don't like to work out. I'm like, okay, we're going to turn into develop osteoarthritis, osteoporosis. You don't want to develop this crap because women have less estrogen, which means they have a hard time with calcium. And that's a whole video. I'm going to go over the importance of working out, and also be careful with calcium supplements. Check your calcium score before doing calcium supplements, because you don't want to over calcify your body because that can create rocks in the blood. That's not good. But yeah, I think I hit it all. Comment below if you've got a gallbladder problem. Comment below if you've done a flush and you've gotten rid of some of the stones. Comment below if you don't have a gallbladder and what you're doing to get by on eating high fat. You can't scrimp on the fat, my people, trying to do high fat carnivore and high fat keto. You got to hit that 200. If you're not hitting 200 grams, we got to take you off of carnivore until you work out your gallbladder situation or your no gallbladder situation, and get some rest, because that's when your body can function properly. If you get your butts to bed at a good time, and exercise. That was the one I forgot. Exercise helps motility of pooping, the liver, the kidney, and the gallbladder and the pancreas. Peace. Energy at 55. This is a mother-sucking business. I've been strict for 16 years. It's amazing. Strict, my people. And the reason why I do these videos is because I've run across problems. And if anybody says it's that easy, any of these diets, like fasting just destroys your gallbladder, then yeah, it does. To be careful, my people. I do this to warn you to be careful, and I try to give you solutions. And soon videos are coming, DIYs, building. I moved to raw land for those who just found me. I got out of crazy ass Cali. I had to get out of California. I couldn't do it. I could not do it with the 3 menstrual pad, thin lining on the face with ear straps. I couldn't do it. The fear. Now my horse is at my front door. I couldn't do it. And plus what's coming. Them cities, right? Where everything is by this stuff. I'm telling you, it's a coming. Be ready. I'm ready. Are you ready? Hear that noise? That's my horse. But he's amazing. I love him. And I'm out. Energy. Even though I'm kind of I put my body through the ringer today. Up early in the morning working out, consultations, clearing off 10 acres of land. Oh, Lord have mercy. Fixing the fence where a tree fell down on it. Cleaning out the water trough. And dealing with my horse at the front door. Energy, peace, comment below. And I'm out. Life is good. Life is really good.